was invited here a couple of weeks ago, and I know this has been a grassroots campaign in so many different ways, and that's what makes this campaign so powerful. It's not led by a political party, it's not led by an individual, it's led by a collective of parents, teachers, the children themselves, who all believe passionately in Hackney's education. And as mayor and as councillors, we believe passionately in Hackney's education as well. We've only been able to improve the quality of Hackney's schools because of the funding that has underpinned that. And that's funding for teachers, that's funding for buildings, that's funding for teaching assistants, for special needs education and all the other inclusion work. And that is all under threat from this national funding formula change. The only reason that Hackney schools are so fantastic is because we have that funding in place, and it's funding based on the needs of our community. And Hackney is still one of the most deprived communities in this country, and to see funding leave Hackney and go to other parts of the country, putting our education and our young people's futures at risk, is something that we're vehemently opposed to.
All around the country, in different ways, in very, very different kinds of communities, people, parents and communities are saying enough is enough. And it's not difficult to see why, because these cuts will absolutely devastate our education system. They will be devastating to our kids, and that's just not bad for education. But it's also bad for our communities. We've seen this week what can happen when people feel isolated and excluded and left out and angry. But we've also seen what happens when communities band together and where they find common cause and common purpose, and they find that common cause in common places, and schools are one of those common places. There's a range of people in this school that I might never meet otherwise, and that's what public schools do. Now, I think there are two reasons why we should be hopeful that this could work. And the first is that this government is not strong and stable, it's weak and wobbly. Frederick Douglass, who said, "Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has and it never will." And we're here and we're demanding. But the other reason is that we are standing up for our kids and our communities, and there is nothing like protecting your children from the harm that these cuts will do as a motivating force. For many people like myself, and I think people in this crowd, and I hope some of our children who were born without all of the benefits that this society can give, education is the key to people being able to progress in life. And so if you start defunding that, and a range of ways in which they are defunding our children, not just education, child and adolescent mental health services, youth services, in a range of ways they are shortchanging our kids. And then they're surprised when knife crime happens, when gang crime happens, when a range of things that if we decided at the beginning that we were going to protect and nurture and fund our children, wouldn't happen. There's no guarantee of success when you start a campaign like this. There is just a guarantee that if you don't fight, you can't win. And we're fighting. And that means that when our kids ask us, what did you do when they were taking away our extracurricular activities, our ability to do music, our chance to do after-school programs and so on, we can say we were here. At the very least, we were here and that we fought. It's no guarantee of success, like I said, but if we don't fight, I know we can't win. Thank you.